Volunteer life candle. Anyone else? One more. Uh, uh, uh,
Before we start our meditation, Let us do our regular chanting. Please turn to page number 5 in your chanting book. Salutation to the Buddha.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
The three refuges.
Bodhi Sare Gachana Dham Sare Nam Gachana Sangha Sare Nam Gachana Dutiya Dham Sare Nam Gachana Dutiya Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Dutiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Tatiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
Next page. 5 precepts.
Dipakta Verani Sikha Samdhya Adita Verani Sikha Samdhya Kavesu Micca Verani Sikha Samdhya Musa Verani Sikha Samdhya Sura Veraya Pamatanta Verani Sikha Samdhya
The opposite page. Affirmative vows based on 5 precepts. Being aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I want to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of all living beings. Being aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, stealing, and oppression, I want to respect the property of others and to practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. Being aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I want to respect the commitments and those of others and determine not to engage in relations without love and long-term commitment. Being aware that words can create suffering, I want to speak truthfully and develop peaceful
hide and speak.
Be suffering that an educated and agitated mind can produce. I want to develop mindfulness and peace. Next page. Homage to the Buddha.
Iti so bhagavad Bhagavan Sam Vedya Sampan Sugata Vid Anita Purisadam Sati Santa Te Mansusa Bhagavati
Homage to the Dhamma.
Swam to Bhagavitadam Sandhindiko Kaliko Edi Pasiko Iko Panchatam Vedita Vinyu
Homage to the Sangha.
Sopatipanno Bhagavato Sangho Ujjapatipanno Bhagavato Sangho Patipanno Bhagavato Sangho Samichipatipanno Bhagavato Sangho Yatiram Jatanta Depurisayuga Ardente Purisa Pugunga Esi Bhagavato Sangha Dakini Anjali Karani Anunta Punyakenta Lokasansa Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Next page. Offerings. Offering of light.
Ganesa Vinte Deepe Tamadhansena Tikati Pansam Punda Pujayami Tam
Offering of incense.
Ganesam Pinte Dupina Sugandhina Pujayam Puja Bhaja
Offering of flowers.
One Guru Vetam Etam Kusu Santakin Pujayami Dasansa Shri Father Sarva Pujay Bundam Kusume Nani Pujay Lava Kam Pumbam Laya Siddharida Kali Sattva Vina Sabha
Offering of water.
Adi Vande Paniyam Parikam Vedam Anukapam Upattam Patigam Bhatu Kundam.
Offering of drinks.
Adi Setunu Bhante Gila Panchayangima Anukapam Upattam Patigam tu untem.
Worship of shrines.
Wanda Cetiam Sambam Sambam Supate Intetam Sari Tuma Di Lutun Upam Sakatam Sada Sadhu.
Next page. Wish of well-being.
Inche Punya pisan Wibulan alam tak sisa Hadang
Reflections on the teaching of the Buddha in English.
Mind is the forum of all experiences. Mind is chief. Mind need are they. If one is fixed to acts with an impure mind, suffering follows like the wheel that follows like the wood of the earth. Mind is the forum of all experiences. Mind is chief. Mind need are they. If one is fixed to acts with a pure mind, happiness follows like one's shadow that never leaves. Generosity, kindness, benevolent actions towards others, and equality towards all beings and all things. These bonds of sympathy function in the world like the wind in the world. Little by little, moment by moment, while spirit should remove their inferiorities, as the spirit removes the responsibility of bonds of kindness. Mental events are weakened and the great complete is seen. All the recent things are impermanent. When one sees this wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path of purification. All the things are satisfied. When one sees this wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path of purification. All things are not found. When one sees this wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path of purification. Excellent. Excellent.
Excellent.
Let us together make a genuine effort to guide our mind to come to a wholesome, serene state of loving kindness, and also to develop our ability to be mindful, to be aware without being attached, without being involved. So, this is a good opportunity for all of us that we have given this time just for this to help our mind grow and rejoice this moment that we have given this gift to ourselves, our mind to grow. So, with that, rejoice, make a determination that I will engage in this meditation wholeheartedly. That whatever the practice that we are doing right now is going to benefit so many other beings. Whatever the qualities, skillfulness that we are developing right now are going to help so many other people and other beings around us. So just feel encouraged that this practice is for the benefit of many beings. So let us make a determination that we will engage in this meditation wholeheartedly. And I will engage in this meditation with a committed mind. With that determination, let us listen to the sound of the bell and to the chant and bring our awareness to this moment, feeling the body and our presence here. Dha. 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 Let us be with our body, feeling wherever our body is touching now. Touch sensations with our clothes. Press muscles where our body is touching. Just feel those sensations in the body. With the awareness of those sensations, let us be in our body and settle in our body. Let us be here and now in the body and with a full sense of acceptance. However, the way our body feels to us right now, we will accept it fully and simply be with it with full acceptance and contentment. Like a bird would rest its own nest, let us simply be with our body, with the awareness of our body, with the warmth we can feel in the body. Let us be here and now. with this awareness of the body, we can allow this body simply to be here as relaxed as it can, without holding anything in our belly. We can simply let our belly to drop. When you breathe out, allow the belly to drop further, holding nothing in the belly, relaxing everything. No tightness or no grip in the hands or the palms. They are simply resting and lying. And allow any other parts of the body which are tight or tensed. When you are breathing out, bring your attention to those areas, maybe your chest, maybe your shoulders, and bring your close attention to that area. And when you breathe out, allow that area to open up and relax. With this relaxed body, we will let this body to rest, simply to rest as it is right now. And then we will gently bring our whole attention to our mind itself. Let us simply watch what are occurring in our mind right now. Noticing, watching whatever the thoughts, whatever the memories that are surfacing in the mind right now. Without developing any thought further, we will simply keep noticing as they arise and acknowledging them and dropping them without developing any further. We can notice various random thoughts keep occurring one after the other, sometimes with some intervals. Like a bubble is popping up in the water. These random thoughts keep popping up. No thought is important. They are simply popping up due to our neural habit. Giving no importance to any thought, we can simply keep noticing and watching them. Right now, instead of these random thoughts, let us now purposely guide our mind to have one kind of thoughts. Instead of these random thoughts or memories, let us now guide and generate one kind of thoughts, loving kindness. This is a good opportunity for all of us to guide our mind to generate one of the most wholesome mental states. And let that loving kindness to grow in our mind. Loving kindness is a healing quality. Loving kindness is the willingness for everyone to be well. Loving kindness is the genuine wish of well-being. It is goodwill towards all beings. Let us now generate this wholesome state. We have this capacity in the deep in our mind. Generate that willingness for everyone to be well. Generate that goodwill, that friendliness towards all. Let us open our heart just like when we see a little baby, a smiling little baby. How do you feel when we see such a little smiling baby? Or how do you feel when we are petting a puppy or kitten? Generate that level of openness, that level of readiness to care, acceptance, unconditional love. Let us try to generate that wholesome quality right now, opening the heart and feeling that unconditional outpouring attitude of care, love, compassion. Let us keep growing this wholesomeness, keep growing this loving kindness. Let us keep generating this loving kindness again and again. And make all the thoughts of our mind one kind, loving kindness thoughts. Let us keep generating the loving kindness wishes again and again. Directing this wholesome wish to all beings, wholeheartedly wishing everyone well-being and peace. We will start with ourselves, this living being sitting here. This person sitting here also deserves loving kindness, just like any other being. Look at yourself as one of the living beings, struggling, being compassionate at times, being wise at times, and being not so at another times. Just look at yourself as one of the living beings, and then make a genuine wish. May this person sitting here be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us direct this loving kindness to our body, appreciating each and every part of the body for allowing us to live this precious life with deep appreciation to all the organs, all the systems of this body. Let us direct this loving kindness to every part of the body. Feel your lungs when you breathe in, the cooling sensations, and make a genuine wish. May these lungs, respiratory system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this heart, cardiac muscles, the whole cardiovascular system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this digestive system, all the organs throughout this digestive system that help us to absorb the nutrients from the food to energize the body, the stomach, liver, pancreas, intestine, colon, the whole digestive system be well, be healthy, be healed. May these kidneys, both kidneys and whole genitourinary system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this nervous system, the central nervous system, the spinal cord, the brain stem, the middle brain, the frontal lobe, the whole nervous system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this whole body, may all the muscles, all the ligaments throughout this body all these bones in this whole body and all these joints. Be well. Be healthy. Be healed. Allow this loving kindness to travel to each and every corner of your body. Allow this loving kindness intention to heal the whole body. Let us now expand this loving kindness beyond ourselves to everyone else. Let us expand this wish to all people who are connected to our life. Wholeheartedly wishing the same wish of well-being to all of them. May all our family members, our good friends, our co-workers, may all of them be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us keep expanding this wish beyond the people who are known to us, to all other people living all around. Let us wholeheartedly wish well-being to all people living everywhere. May all people living in faraway places, all distant places, let us keep expanding this wish, wishing well-being to all of them. Whoever the people living in the direction that we are facing now, may all people living in faraway places, in faraway cities, states, and countries in the direction of our front, may all of them be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. May all people living in the direction of our right, may all of them living in faraway cities, faraway states, and faraway countries in this direction. Be well, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us direct our loving kindness to all beings living in the direction of our back. Whoever the people living in this direction right now, in faraway cities, faraway states, and faraway countries in their direction, be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us direct our loving kindness to the direction of our left. May all people living in this direction right now, in faraway places, may they all be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us expand this wish beyond human beings to all other living beings. Let us wish for all animals, from large ones to tiny ones, wholeheartedly wishing all these creatures living everywhere. May all animals be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Thus, expand this wish to all living beings, whatever life forms there may be, visible and invisible beings, each and every living organism, without exception, be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Peace. Peace. Let us make our loving kindness unlimited, unbounded, embracing all beings with our loving kindness. With no barriers, with no exception. Rejoice this limitless love, unbounded loving kindness. With this rejoice, let us now gently move to our breathing, paying our whole attention to our breath. Let us try to deepen our peace. We can make this peace deeper and deeper and more profound by simply resting our attention on our breath. Try to feel the sensation in your nostrils, inner walls of your nose, when the air is moving through your nose. Feel it inside. Feel how it passes behind your throat, and feel how your lungs are filled and how your whole body is energized. Closely notice the sensation of the out breath, how the lungs are starting to empty, and how the air is coming through the nose, and how the air is touching the upper lips, and how you feel the relaxation of the body. Let us be with our breath. This is the most important thing in our life. Everything else become meaningful only as long as we can breathe. Nothing is more valuable than this. Let us be closely, be with the breath, feel it as closely as you can, with deep appreciation, with deep respect and gratitude. Let us be with the breath, experiencing all the sensations related to the breath. Mindfully breathe in. Mindfully breathe out. Keep coming back to the breath again and again. No matter how many other thoughts we may happen to have, simply keep coming back to the breath again and again. In these last few minutes, let us make a full effort to be with the breath, to rest with the breath. Dukkha patacha nidukkha bhayapattacha nibbaya Sukapatacha Nisuka Hontu Sabbipi Paninu. May all those who are suffering be free from suffering. May all those who are in fear be free from fear. May all those who are grieving be free from grief. May all beings be well and happy. Gently come out of your meditation and gently put your palms together and place them against your chest. Let us take a moment to feel grateful for this opportunity to have peaceful meditation. Feel grateful to all great teachers, the enlightened masters in the past, who transmitted these teachings from generation to generation. Let us feel grateful to anyone who helped our meditation tonight. Let us feel grateful even to these non-living things which supported our meditation, including this cushion, the chair, the bell, and this device that help you to connect to meditation from home. With deep gratitude, let us say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It was a very quiet meditation. Any comments or questions? Okay. So we have shut down our discursive mind, our rational mind. So no question. So you'll now slowly activate some part of the rational mind to discuss, our text. So as you know that, during this 3 months period, what we call Vasana period, or in retreat, we discussed this important text called Dhammapada, which is one of the important Buddhist text, and it is a collection of poems uttered by the Buddha. So today we'll be discussing one such poem, and that is in your reading. So this text is originally in Pali language. There are translation, but we are first going to chant. Bhante, can you help us to chant the first one?
Panim hichi vanunasse Ariye panina visang Nibbanang vise manveti Natti papang akubbetu.
So that's how it sounds in Pali. And even at the time of the Buddha, monks used to recite these, these were like formulas for them to remember, sometime inspiration. So sometimes they may be living, far away from the Buddha. So the monks memorize, very key important teachings, and Dhammapada was one of such, text, oral text, and later, came into the books. So, and especially the verses that we find in Dhammapada is very simple. It just, it of course, some verses can be very profound, but most of the time it uses very simple similes, very simple language, and gives very important practical advice to our life. And the verses that we discussed so far is very simple, and we didn't get to discuss very deep doctrines. We can, but the nature of Dhammapada is like, it's very very friendly to common people. And most of the time, the similes that Buddha has used in explaining these teachings are very simile that any common people can understand. Similes related to agriculture, similes related to our daily life. So the translation of this verse, can we have volunteer to read the translation? Yes, Nancy, please.
Give on the hand, there is no wound. One may carry even poison in it. Poison does not affect one who is free from wounds. There is no evil for him who does not do it.
Thank you, Nancy. This particular verse has a very, very, direct relevance to our lives. And here the point that Buddha wanted to highlight is that if there's no direct mental involvement, you may be amidst people maybe doing not nice things. Maybe you are in a negative environment. Maybe you may be a part of a society that discriminate others, maybe that do violence to others. You just happen to be the member of that class, maybe. So the point here that as long as you don't mentally involve in that, whatever bad things that whole society is doing, or maybe the social group is doing, as long as you don't mentally involve in that, and as long as you don't mentally approve that, and you are not part of that, so there's no evil for him who does not do it, right? Akubata. And then also, in our practice, we always wish to have spiritual friends, right? Kalyana Mittata, right? So having people with spiritual interest is very important, very helpful, and we always encourage find such community, find such teachers, be around them, that will help you to grow, cultivate. So we make a wish, maybe follow the wise people. So that's helpful definitely, but we cannot guarantee that we will get such environment all the time. So this verse is giving the opposite teaching, that we may be among the people with misguided mind. We may be among the people with doing all kind of things. But this verse is guiding us that even though we happen to be with a negative environment in a society that people are maybe always, recently, one of our friends is working in the construction field. He said, Bhante, the people I work with always make all bad comments. They always, judge others and look down others, use, racist terms. I'm fed up with them. I can't handle it. So that can be environment that we may be in, right? It's difficult sometimes. You're nodding your head.
I work in the trucking industry,
Okay.
and they're just as bad as the construction industry.
Okay. Maybe the stress of nature of the work. But this verse is guiding us Doesn't matter we happen to be with, those, let's say, unwise, not necessarily people, maybe, in this negative environment. As long as you have a nice skin, you even can carry poison. Think about the skin. Skin is such a wonderful part of our body. In fact, it is the largest organ in the body. I mean, the skin is an organ by itself, right? So throughout the body, it's the largest organ, but it has this special ability. It can. I mean, we live our life because of the protection that the skin is giving us, and we are always exposed to germs, right? Germs are all around us, but the skin has this ability to, protect us, skin and this little hair and everything. Somehow skin has that special ability. Even it touches the skin, it knows to protect us without letting it goes in, right? So without having been infected. So skin has that, shield. That is why we live our life. So Buddha is giving that an example. If you can make our mindfulness, actually, our mindfulness like a skin, it can protect our mind. You may be in an environment that people are making all the negative comments, and making all the negative comments, and if that's the guidance, we can develop this shield, this ability, which is a very strong mindfulness, not observing what they are saying and not being influenced by them. Very difficult. But as long as you maintain attention inward, not always like letting the attention go to outward and try to analyze the words and everything that they are saying, but as long as we stay inward and watching what is happening to me, what is happening here, and as long as you keep observing that, and then just keep observing, because the moment you start to observe and your mind has no chance to to ruminate, because it has a task, which is to observe, keep noticing what is happening, how I'm impacted, and what is happening here, and even noticing, observing how other people are expressing, and really observing them, clearly, without interpreting, without putting any kind of thing, but simply observing. And when you genuinely observe, when you genuinely observe even the facial expressions of others, you may notice their pain, not their aggressiveness, or not their ugliness that that usually we feel, but their pain, maybe their unsettled nature, their agony. And then as long as you can see that, as long as you can maintain the attention inward and observing this tendency to fluctuate, and then observing it and taking a deep breath, maybe settling it, and at the same time observing what is coming out from, what is happening to these people, not exactly what is really coming out from them, but actually the inside pain, inside unsettled nature, maybe misguided, like innocent, stranded nature, and you feel compassionate. And so rather than try to like being influenced by those comments, and try to maybe try to correct them, or try to but you can just be in that environment, feeling compassionate and protecting our own mind, like developing such a skin. Sometimes we have to have very hard skin. But the guidance here, actually, we can develop such a skin. We can develop such a skin. Because we cannot expect that, we'll be always, in a positive environment. That's no choice, particularly when it comes to work. And sometimes if you can manage to have such a skin, such a shield, and maybe eventually we'll also be able to influence others. Any experience of being in a negative environment but managing somehow? Any experience?
Yeah, I've been in a few, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, well, one's in particular recently, do you want me to tell that story?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If
so-
you're willing, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm working as my background's in engineering, a PhD and master's in engineering, and I'm also working now as a licensed massage therapist because it's a healing profession. But one of the people that I work with was sort of, I'm not sure what inner pain they had, but they would try to demarcate some person and then harass them until they would leave, and then they could get their clients, or was just uncomfortable with the person and would, harass them. So, I was,
They may find easy targets, maybe.
yeah, people who they thought were targets, and she didn't like them, so she would like sort of talk about the other people to them and sort of garner support, with this kind of gossip. But then started to sabotage others, like myself in particular. At one point, I would come into the room that I was going to work, and the hot stone heater for the hot stone massage was on, and there was a little towel we kept in there to make this sound quiet when the stones go back in to be reheated. And it was dry, so it was starting to smoke and fill the room with smoke. So and it did this like 4 times, and I sort of just kept catching her doing it. Like, I went to the restroom one time, I come back, the room's starting to fill with smoke because she had turned this on when I was away at the bathroom. Client would come in, and then I think her idea was that the client would come in and say, oh, this is unpleasant, and this guy doesn't know what he's doing, and things like that. And I sort of had to become like Gandhi, I guess, was the example to use like passive resistance, and every time turned it on, I just, sort of caught her at it. I never confronted her with it really, because then I would be the one accusing her, and she would run to the owner and say, he's accusing me, he's picking on me. So, I caught her at it, like, kind of indirectly a couple times. And finally I said, I got to do something because, this is really affecting my job here. So it came to me that I would just take a picture of the settings on the machine before I left the room, and every time. So I left the room and took a picture, the settings on the machine, and sure enough, I come back in and it's on. I would take a picture. Now all these pictures on the phone are all date and timestamp, right? So now I'm building this like evidence, right? So finally, I had to have a talk with the owner, because in Pennsylvania, if there's any indication of worker harassment, you have 180 days to talk to the supervisor or manager or owner about it before, they consider it null and void. So you have to actually, you're supposed to, by law, address the issue, otherwise you have no case.
So you were like maintaining
my own sort of trying to not get rattled. And look, I played hockey 17 years, so I've been hit with sticks and all kinds of stuff, and you have to maintain yourself there too. So it was good practice for that in a strange sort of way. But I just couldn't believe this person just kept doing this, and it could have burned the place down actually. The first time she did it, I was totally unaware that this was going to happen. And someone came in the next morning and said, Dave, you left your heater on and the place was filled with smoke. Well, I knew I had shut it off. So, now I have to, get smarter about this, because she's, she could have burned the whole place to the ground for all I know. Anyway, long story short, finally I had to talk to the owner, and, it was funny because it was about 2 weeks before the 180 days elapsed, and I made a remark about, well, it's funny, these hot stone heaters keep turning on by themselves or something, and he's like, what do you mean? So finally I had to just tell him. I said, he goes, oh, you must be crazy. He goes, probably just bumped it inadvertently, or it made every possible excuse for that behavior. And I said, well, I have a whole series of date and time-stamped photographs that show it was off when I left the room. And he got real quiet, and then I think started to consider within his own mind the fact that this had actually been going on. And I had all this, and now his business could be in trouble, and there would be an inquiry by the state if it went to that far, So, and amazingly enough, even though, as far as I know, he never did anything about it, and I never took any more aggressive action than just that, she decided to move to Florida. So I thought, well, that's really, I think sometimes we have to bear with things without getting aggressive, because if you drop to that level, you're embroiled in it, and suddenly you have a wound in your hand, and you've fallen a little bit from where you could have been.
Sometimes we will sacrifice our goodness, right? Our growth, our kindness because of that environment.
Sort
So
of
we are
drag
giving
down
more power to the
the
other person, right?
Yeah.
When we get aggressive.
Yeah, because it's anger and pain that's fueling it to begin with, and a projection, in psychology, they would call it a projection of anger onto another person. So you don't want to really add to that, It's hard sometimes, though. I mean, I thought, well, maybe I should just leave this job. It's crazy, who wants to work in that kind of condition, But I have so many nice clients that are recurring clients that I help all the time, and they rely on me. So anyway, it
So
worked out.
it's
well.
challenging, yeah.
Yeah, moved away.
But thank you. Thank you.
There's so much there,
But I think thank you for sharing that, story, and also like you were doing something, but not in an aggressive way, but very smart way, right? So that's but also not letting your goodness to go away,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I think if you sort of try to surrender your own anger, then sort of creative ideas come to you that might be helpful.
Yeah.
You can't allow yourself to be pulled down to that. And at the same time, being pulled down to it means also like starting to hate that person, or starting to really be angry with that person and combative with that person. And, that was a strange thing.
So this particular story, particular verse was also uttered by the Buddha. According to the commentaries of this text, we have an interesting story how sometimes we have to do things out of our obligations, but maybe outward nature of the behavior cannot really say the inside nature of the mind. So sometimes you may see some people are outwardly doing some things. You may think that they are doing bad things, but we don't know inside how they really maintain their mind. So this story is about actually a wife of a hunter. And if you become a wife of a hunter, you have a particular set of duties you have to do, right? So actually, the wife, before he got married to this hunter, happened to listen to the teachings of the Buddha, and she was really into the practice, and she committed to follow this path of non-violence and compassion and this mindfulness life. But then later she somehow fell in love with this hunter who happened to come to the city, and she got married to him, and then she started to live with him. So every morning the hunter has to go to hunt. So it is a duty of the wife to prepare all the the arrows and the bows and all the things and food for him and everything. So he prepare his utensils, utensils. What to prepare his
His hunting gear.
gear, yeah, hunting gear and the food, everything, and give to the husband. So she lived like that for many years, and they also had children. And one day, the Buddha was traveling in the forest. Buddha found a trap they have arranged to catch animals. Buddha came very close to the trap, and then Buddha decided to sit down on that tree, and waiting for them to come, because Buddha wanted to get the other people also into practice. So he was waiting and sitting down and calmly sitting under that tree next to that trap. So the hunter came to catch the animal, thinking that the animals should have been in the trap, and realized that there's no animals and there's one person sitting next to it. And he thought that, oh, this person should have taken my animal, my harvest or whatever. And he got really angry, and then he got his arrow, and he really want to shoot. And when he about to shoot, according to the story, he was full of anger, and of course Buddha was there, and with this full compassion and loving kindness, and he could not let go of the arrow. He was stuck there with this with this posture, with this what we call hero posture. But without releasing the arrow, he was stuck there and he couldn't do anything. And he stayed there for a while, and his children came after, his sons came after him, and he saw that his father was stuck with this arrow. And they saw that Buddha was also there, and then they was also doing the same thing. He want to shoot an arrow to the Buddha, but they could not. They they get the arrow, but they could not release the arrow. When all these things happened, the wife was looking for them, and when she came, when they saw the Buddha, and she was so surprised because she knew the Buddha, before she got married. And she shouted, don't kill my father. That's the term she used. Meaning, actually, the father is for her like a spiritual father, right? So, and the others thought that, maybe they should have been our father-in-law. So their anger, frustration, everything kind of calmed down, and that also released their bodies. Because earlier their body was tense and they couldn't move. They don't release their arrow, they couldn't do anything. And because their anger was gone and they relaxed their body, they come to their normal thing and ask, why didn't you tell me that your father is visiting us? And then she told me, actually, not really my father, but this is my teacher. I have been following him. Even though I haven't seen him for many years, I took the teaching from him. I am following his advice. And then others also wanted to know what the Buddha is teaching, and so Buddha started share the teachings. So it looks like apparently this wife, although she was really strong practitioner, she did not impose those ideas to her family. Maybe she may have tried, maybe failed, I don't know. But looks like they haven't really followed the path that the wife is following, the mother is following. Anyway, so Buddha got this opportunity to teach them. So there was an interesting discussion, and then gradually, kind of the story, they gave up, the hunting, and they became nice people too. But this verse didn't come until now. So then later in the evening, when the Buddha returned to the monastery, and when the monks get to know all this story, and there was a discussion about this wife, and asking that, and you praise that wife as your follower, as someone who's practicing compassion, loving kindness, and mindfulness, and she has been supporting that hunter all the while. Every morning she prepared the arrow and the bow and the sword and everything, and how come you can say that she lived such a kind loving life? And Buddha uttered this verse. She may be she may be doing her duty. So when she prepared all these things, she is not wishing that I will get a big animal today. May I get a lot of animals. She is doing it, as a duty to support the husband. So her intention was different, and so she was able to do all these things without really having thought of killing or harming. So as long as you maintain that, as long as you do not mentally involve in that thing, but you just perform your duty, and then you haven't mentally become part of that. So just like because of mindfulness and compassion, she did not partake, she did not took part in that violent act, although she happened to be with them in an extreme case. Maybe you are working in a company that do something, and I don't know. So it's possible that even though in such a environment that you can live without being mentally part of it. Maybe difficult, if you can, you live, but some situation you can't. Family, you can't. And you have to be with the family, right? And yeah, your success will be somehow be with it and maybe eventually transform. That's what she did at the end, of course, Buddha intervene and they transform the environment. But sometimes we just have to be there. Maybe you have to buy time. Just as you did, you have to buy time, to like change.
Yeah,
Any
question,
comments?
yeah. Right.
Okay. Okay, we have a question, by Adrian from Florida. Yeah.
Good luck there.
What about the very necessary action that we may choose to take in the name of social justice when the egregious behavior of the other individuals or social group have caused undue harm? Yeah, I think social justice, what about the necessary action that we may choose to take in the name of social justice? I don't know. Justice is something that doesn't make much sense to my mind. I don't know what it's that. I don't know how Bhante, do we have any word in Pali that refers to justice? Very hard concept to digest. Justice. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but that's not something that we do. Maybe natural justice. Yeah. Yes.
But there's a great danger if somebody is sort of oppressing someone and angering them, repeatedly over and over again, badgering them or harassing them or even harming them. There is a very great danger in becoming the aggressor when the tables turn. Like, for example, if I would have just really tried to harm that person for all that aggravation that she had caused me, then I would be pretty much the same. And so a lot of times when people talk about social ills or social abuses, sometimes they're trying to make up for wrongs of the past, and that's not necessary. I think that's sort of like, okay, now all of a sudden you have a wound and the poison, you are the poison.
I think, but she's mentioning about social justice. That maybe, maybe I don't know, as I understand, maybe maybe you have to punish certain group of people, or maybe you have to when you pass some policies to achieve some social justice. She's asking about what about the necessary actions that we may have to choose to take in the name of social justice?
The only thing I can think of, Bhante, is the Buddha talked about, how enmity or things like that never solved the problem, only an unconditional acceptance or something. Because it's a different energy, it's a higher vibrational energy. Yeah. Yeah, I think justice sometimes, as we commonly view it, also gets confused with morality, which is more like beliefs and, meting out punishment in cases where.
Sorry, Adrian,
Controversial.
I'm not able to give you a clear answer at this point. Maybe let's discuss this, Yes, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
You mean? Yeah.
justice and consequence.
Okay, yeah. She's asking about, what, sometimes we may have to take some necessary actions to bring about social justice. Maybe that could be like punishing certain group of people, maybe, so. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Yes.
concept of justice. In Western culture, legalese is representative of a justice. She holds up the balance.
Yes.
She's blindfolded. There's an implication that there's something right about finding balance. So I would say that our notion of justice, or that which is just, which is right, would probably closely relate to what is known as right action.
Mm.
Because the Dharmapada poem that you recited, that verse, is essentially talking about equanimity. And taking a position where you don't necessarily attach or reject. However, you could think of multiple scenarios where you may have to intervene in a physically aggressive way to potentially prevent some catastrophe that's imminently
Mm.
within your view.
Yeah.
I mean, I could suggest, I'm envisaging some very egregious things, but we can all imagine some of those situations where it would warrant some degree of aggression. Now, I don't know how that all fits in, but in my mind, it would have to fit into right action under the Eightfold Path.
But, yeah.
With the presumption of a balanced, just internal intent coming from the person or the group that's attempting to intervene in a perceived aggressive position.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe like, try to bring about, the maybe peace or happiness, or maybe, happiness to large, so, yeah.
I feel like the Buddha has I remember like during the time of his being, like there's a caste system.
Yeah.
And the women, can't be be religious.
Yeah.
So I think the Buddha in a way kind of like
Change it, yeah.
change it in a way so where anybody is welcome with his system. And also if you start like the first nun, so I think that's his way of bringing justice to equality.
Yeah, I think he didn't start like, he didn't like created, protest, against it. So he quietly created an alternative social system where no, no caste is recognized. So like a very gentle, approach. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the discussion. Let us, because our time is running out, let us remember, whenever we are in a difficult, negative environment, remember that we can have, we can be there, we can do something there, maybe out of necessity. Out of necessity, we may have to control aggressively some person, maybe, but not with, violent, thoughts, but, with compassionate thought. So as long as we don't mentally, have violent, thoughts, we are okay. So with that understanding, let us now move to the other part of the program. Page 14. Sharing the merits. By coming to this practice today, by spending this wholesome time together, we generated a lot of wholesome goodness, good energy in our mind. So we can share this good energy, good karma, merits with all other people. First of all, let us share these merits with our departed relatives, our family members, our ancestors in gratitude, thinking about their care and love they have for us. So may all of our departed relatives share our merits. May they be well, happy, and peaceful wherever they may be. Idang mi ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idang mi ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idang mi ñātīnaṁ sukhita huntu ñātayo. Let us also share these merits with all other living beings. If there's any being who would like to share this merit, may he or she do so. Ettavata ca amhihi sambhatam punya sampadam sabbe devanu tantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanu tantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanu tantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Wish for the well-being of the world in English. May the weather be pleasing. May the people prosper in their lives. May there be peace and happiness in the world. May the rulers be righteous. May all those who are suffering be free from suffering. May all those who are in fear be free from fear. May all those who are in grief be free from grief. May all beings be well and happy. Aspiration. May this wholesome act quicken the liberation of my mind from mental defilements. By virtue of this wholesome act, may I never follow the unwise people. May I associate with good people until I attain Nibbana, purification. If by body, speech, or mind I have careless done wrong, I acknowledge them all in front of the Tathagata of great wisdom and determine to be heedful. Okay, now we will do our blessing chant. Wishing all of you good health, peace, and happiness. We are going to chant the Loving Kindness Sutra. And this particular sutra, this discourse was given by the Buddha with great compassion for all living beings. We are going to chant the same sutra for you now. Wishing you all good health, peace, and happiness. May you continue to grow in your mindfulness, in your compassion, and may you be blessed with strength and courage to overcome difficulties and challenges in your life. May all of you receive these blessings. You may also recall to your mind whoever you want to share these blessings with, your family members, your friends, people who are sick. You can remember them to your mind and share these blessings with them too. May all of you receive these blessings. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. Namo tassa tu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato tu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato tu samma sambuddhassa. Karuණීයමන්ත කුසලේන අන්තං සන්තං ගදං අபிසමෙච්ච සංකෝ මුදු අනති මුනි සන්තෝ Sandrindri Janibago Kolesu Ananu Gendo Chekunda Samachare Kinchiena Vinu Pare Deyum Sokinu Keminu Sabbe Santa Bhavantu Sukhitanta Ike Chipane Bhutanti Tasa Anse Sadiga Dimanta Mandima Sansaka Nikatu Detan ye dure vasanti avidure bhutam sambhavesi sabbe santa bhavantu sukhitantam Timangit Kanta Chinang Kanchi Byang Sana Patigasim Nam Sadok Kamit Jay Ni Ayusang Eka Kum Ke Pesam Bhakti Su Man Sang Ba Imana Tang Cha Sam Man Sang Ba Parimanam Undang Chatiriyam Asambadam Averam Sapantang Tekang Nising Sayam Tasan Sarbigat Mindo Etam Sating Dedente Brahmanetam Viham Idman Tekang Anupagam Sil Dasan Sanin Sangpanno Kami Subhini Dang Naijam Tugam Seyam Punakristi Tena Sadhan Sodante Tena Sabdam Sadhan Sabdam Satu Sadhan Chakwadin O Te Jai Mang Sambhitiyo Vivajantu Sambh Vinasatu Mate Bhavatantantara Sukhi Diga Yuko Tu Sambh Rakantu Sabdevita Sabdunda Bhavene Sada Santi Bhavantu Te Bhavantu Sabdevita Rakantu Sabdevita Sabdam Bhavene Sada Santi Bhavantu Te Bhavantu Sabdevita Ragantu Sabdevita Sabdasanghabhavene Sada Santi Bhavantu Te. Let us spend a moment of reflection. Try to recall to your mind whatever kind deed that you were able to do during your past few days. Think about an incident that you got an opportunity to be kind to someone. Recall an actual moment. Let us rejoice this opportunity to be kind. On this day or in the past, if I have done kind deeds to other beings with my body, speech, or mind, whether great or little, here before the Buddha, I call to mind those kind deeds and let my heart rejoice. I rejoice in those kind deeds, appreciating the opportunity to be helpful to others. I rejoice in those kind deeds, wishing more opportunities to practice compassion. I rejoice in those kind deeds, resolving not to compare myself with others. I rejoice in those kind deeds, and glad to share this joy with all beings everywhere. May my kind deeds relieve the burdens of other beings. May my kind deeds shield me from all dangers and pain. May my kind deeds and merits that come from them Help me in free my heart. Let us now recall to our mind whatever kindness we receive from others. Think about an incident, a moment in which you receive some help, some kindness, some care from others, or you heard or saw a kind deed of someone. Let us rejoice the goodness of others. On this day or in the past, if I have seen or heard of the kind deeds done by others with their body, speech, or mind, whether great or little, here before the Buddha, I call to mind those kind deeds and let my heart rejoice. I rejoice in the goodness of others, being always ready to praise kind people and follow their example. I rejoice in the goodness of others, appreciating that there are many good-hearted people in the world. I rejoice in the goodness of others, expressing gratitude for any kindness done. May the kind deeds of others bring safety and happiness to many living beings. May the kind deeds of others foster gratitude and fellowship among many living beings. May the kind deeds of others nurture goodness in me and many living beings. Sadhu. Sadhu. Okay, it was so nice to have you all. Thank you very much for being part and contributing to the discussion. And so our annual meditation retreat is coming in less than 2 weeks, right? And so we'll have a nice gathering here, starting on September 15th, Friday evening as the orientation, and then 16th the whole day and the 17th the whole day. So we will have a very senior experienced meditation master to guide you. And I think it'll be a great opportunity at least meet him. So please, sign up in the website. And then week after, we have a whole different event that is going to be Sri Lankan Food Festival. And you can bring your family, friends in to have to support the Buddhist Center. That is a fundraiser, but you will be able to, taste different cuisine on that day. Thank you, and thank you everyone who joined our YouTube. Thank you, Adrian, and thank you, Dan, and thank you, Komudani and Bante Deepanand. And look forward to see you again.